Written by Sanket Dave. He wants to know, given the long-term capital gains tax, is it better to invest in hybrid funds as rebalancing a large portfolio with separate equity and debt funds on your own can lead to tax implications?
Sure. So let's first look at what are the benefits that one gets from investing in a hybrid fund versus the benefits that may accrue by keeping the debt and equity allocations separately in what we can call as a DIY hybrid allocation. So in a hybrid fund, convenience is the biggest factor. Your asset rebalancing is on autopilot. So let's say you are investing in an aggressive hybrid fund, which invests about 75% of your money in equity and 25% in debt. So this allocation is for an investor, this is maintained automatically because it's the fund manager who keeps rebalancing time and again to keep the allocations closely aligned with this 75-25 target asset allocation. And importantly, this asset rebalancing happens in a tax efficient way, because when a mutual fund buys and sells underlying holdings, no capital gains tax liability accrues. And that's why this rebalancing becomes a very tax efficient way. So essentially hybrids, one should opt for their convenience and tax efficiency. Now the downside is, of course, this convenience comes at a bit of a cost, because if you look at it, the hybrids, their expense ratios are generally more closer to what they are for an all equity fund. So despite the fact that hybrids invest a certain portion of your money in fixed income securities, despite that they charge expense ratios more similar to an all equity fund, and that's why they end up being a slightly more expensive proposition. Now in contrast to that, if you create your own asset allocation by combining certain equity and certain debt funds in a desired allocation, what I just referenced to as a DIY hybrid allocation, now in this case you are able to save a little bit on costs, because when you pick and choose a few equity and a few debt funds and you combine them in a portfolio, the overall expense ratio of this portfolio tends to be lower than what otherwise you would pay for a hybrid fund. So that's number one. Second is that in this kind of a setup, you can cherry pick the best of both worlds. So you can pick up the best of equity funds and the best of debt funds to put them together in a good long-term portfolio. And then the third major benefit that accrues to an investor from this is that they can also go for an asset allocation which otherwise is not available off the shelf through a standard hybrid kind of a fund. So these are the kind of merits that one gets from a DIY hybrid allocation. But of course, the downside is that this is more effort intensive, because an investor would need to periodically rebalance this allocation on his or her own. And of course, that also comes with certain tax implications. So I'd say that for a vast majority of investors who would prefer a much more hands-off way of investing, and doing it yourself seems to be a lot of work to them, then the simplicity of a hybrid is unbeatable for them. They should simply go for a hybrid, and the argument really ends over here. But now specifically, if we get down to the details in terms of the costs, of which one is beneficial in terms of the overall cost of ownership, including the tax implications, then I'd say that to an extent it will also depend upon what kind of hybrid you're talking about. Because if we take the case of aggressive hybrids, for instance, where a bulk of the money is invested in equity, then the additional cost saving that you get by creating such an asset allocation on your own would be significantly lower. And because anyways the underlying investments are predominantly in equity, that's why the incremental savings would be fairly limited. And therefore the costs of doing it yourself, the extra effort that you put, and the tax implications then that come with it may just outweigh the benefit that you get from cost savings. But again, one can argue that for an investor who chooses to build his equity allocation through passive index funds, uh, that individual can substantially lower his overall expenses even on a do-it-yourself hybrid, and therefore meaningful cost savings can accrue. But more broadly, if we talk about other types of hybrids, the ones which are skewed towards debt, for instance conservative hybrids, that is where there could be meaningful cost savings that one can derive by combining these two differently rather than going for a conservative hybrid fund. In fact, we did a similar study about an year back, the results of which we had published in our monthly magazine Mutual Fund Insight, where we basically compared each conservative hybrid fund with a self-made allocation by combining the multi-cap and short duration funds of the same fund house. And we did this exercise across 18 AMCs, and this exercise spanned over 7 years of data. And just to make the study more comparable on the tax front and more relevant in the current context on the tax front, we assumed that the current tax regime, the current capital gains tax that are applicable have been in force throughout this period of study. Further, to make it more rigorous, we also assumed that there is no 1 lakh rupees threshold tax exemption on capital gains tax available. And to make it even more rigorous, for the debt side, we assumed taxation at the highest slab rate of 30%. So with all these assumptions, we did this study, and the results of this study were that number one, the DIY hybrid asset allocation, the costs of this allocation were lower than a conservative hybrid on an average across all these AMCs by about 80 basis points. Further, in terms of returns, the DIY hybrid allocation was able to beat the conservative hybrids on an average by about 0.5% per annum. And the third is that these results were pretty pervasive because we found the DIY hybrid allocation beating the conservative hybrid across 16 of the 18 AMCs that were under study. So we concluded broadly that somebody who is willing to put in the extra effort and time that goes into creating a DIY asset allocation, there are worthwhile benefits in terms of extra returns that accrue to that individual. But again, I'll reiterate that all this is more for a mutual fund geek. For majority of investors for whom convenience can be a far bigger parameter, perhaps the good old hybrids are still worthwhile to go for. But in any case, I believe that at some point in time, hopefully the asset management companies rationalize the costs of hybrid funds, either by way of a regulatory nudge or otherwise, and that would be the ideal solution for investors.
All right.